Hello, welcome to another stream. I think we're live now. I'm just gonna wait to kind of hear myself here, make sure that the audio is all fine. But yeah, welcome to another Saturday night stream, I guess. Let me do some audio checks at the start, you know, usual stuff. Here, make sure that the audio is all fine. But yeah, welcome to another Saturday night stream, I guess. Let me do some audio checks at the start. Cool, yeah, I mean, music sounds fine, you guys can hear me okay, and I think we're prepared. So let me just turn on my spotlight here so you can see my face a little bit better. And yeah, welcome to, as I said, another Saturday evening stream. Today we're gonna be doing some C++. In fact, because I get asked the same question all the time about how I keep sort of like the motivation to like learn programming and do it on my free time, as well as like ideas to actually begin learning languages like C++. So I decided to do this little stream, which basically will take you guys through the whole process of contributing to open source projects. And if you've watched my video on how to learn C++ in 2023, which I released a few months ago, one of the points that I'm making there is that you should always contribute to open source projects if you find a good project that you might enjoy contributing to. There are many reasons for that, obviously, but the main reason is that you get to work with people you get to work with many people on the same project. Most of the time, people that are going to be sort of like reviewing your code and giving you ideas on how to implement something have much more experience than you. So you kind of gain a lot of experience very quickly by actually contributing to open source projects. That's what I'm trying to get here. Hello, Peter. Good evening, dude. Hope you're doing fine in this Saturday evening. How's your weekend going so far, my guy? I hope is everything okay with you and your family. So I hope you're excited to see some some open source contributions here. But yeah, I mean that's the main idea for this video. Just going to take you guys through that process of contributing to something, to someone's project on GitHub. So yeah, let's get into it. So the project I chose, obviously, as you can probably guess from the title, is the Diablo 1 reverse engineering project, or the C++ version of it, right? So let's take a look at that, and I'll explain what this project actually is for those who don't know, or for those who are watching this in the future. So Diablo, as you probably all know, especially by the new series in the new games in the series. So Diablo 4 is a very new game. Diablo is a Blizzard franchise, a game franchise, which was first, I think, released in '96, so the year I was born. And it's like a dungeon, sort of like hack and slash, I guess, or dungeon exploring game. And it's like a point and click game, probably one of the first of its kind. Obviously nowadays these kinds of games are very common, but this is one of the OG sort of like click and point dungeon exploring games. Just pick up your loot kind of thing. And it's a game that was very highly praised back in the day, and still to this day is something that I play when my friends are visiting me, because I've got it on the Raspberry Pi, for example. So it's kind of a cool game to play on a single screen multiplayer. So yeah, I mean, this particular project actually came from the C++ version of it. Sorry, from the C version of it, which is a reverse engineering project. And let's see if we can find it here. Let's see. So DevilutionX, maybe it's going to be in the same company here. Peter, battling with Java on VS. Let me clear my head with your open source. Nice, dude. I mean, yeah, Java is one of the languages I don't necessarily enjoy, but you know, good luck to you. I mean, I did it at uni too, so yeah. So DevilutionX is the C++ port of this project called Devolution, which itself is a reverse engineering project which a user, which goes by the name of, I think it's Galaxy Hacks, created in 2018. So this girl alone basically reverse engineered the whole game by herself, as far as I understand, for like a couple of years, and the results are incredible. So like basically you can compile the binary exactly to what Diablo.exe should have been on the PC from the source code. So this Galaxy Hacks did an amazing job at reverse engineering things, and it became quite popular when it was released. So I think they then released a sort of like cleaner C version, which is called Devolution, and then later on the C++ port of Devolution, which is DevilutionX here. And this is what we're going to be working with today. We're going to be working on the DevilutionX repository. So yeah, let's get started. So I actually did contribute to this project in the past. I think I had a couple of PRs that kind of got in maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I remember they were mostly refactoring tasks, which might be what we do today as well, because it tends to be the easy sort of good first issues we can get. And from what I remember, the project did compile just fine on Visual Studio, but we needed a VC package installed to download some of the dependencies. So for example, all the graphics is handled with SDL2, if I'm not mistaken here. So that's one of the dependencies that we need to get from VC package, and obviously all the sound engine stuff and a couple more dependencies as well. Maybe they'll say in here what they are. If we go to build instructions, and if we look into Windows, Windows via Visual Studio. Which makes me think, are we going to be able to build this on VS Code? But yeah, we'll figure out. Because last time I contributed to this project, I did use Visual Studio, but that was over 3 years ago now. So do we know the dependencies? No, we don't know the dependencies. Okay, so we can apparently compile GCC and through GCC and WSL, but I want to compile it natively to Windows, so that's what we're going to be trying today. I am looking for the dependencies here to see what we're going to find. Well, an easy way to see the dependencies anyway is to look at the VC package JSON file, right? So the manifest file. So you can see here that we're going to be pulling SDL2 and also SDL1 from the looks of things, from the looks of it. Libsodium, which is, I guess, encryption related stuff, as it says here. Get text for, I guess, graphical text, right? And then Google test for the unit tests, and then a couple more like FMT. Obviously, we've got bzip2 for zipping stuff, Lua, I guess, for plugins, right? That's usually how Lua is used in this kind of project. But yeah. So yeah, so let's get started with it, right? So the first thing, if you find a project that you want to contribute to on GitHub, the first thing you have to do is to actually go on to fork here. So you want to fork this, and I already have a fork, I believe. There you go. So I already have a fork that exists on my account. But yeah, once you fork it, you essentially copy the repository onto your account, so you can modify your copy of that repository. And this is usually how you can create, pull requests, and you can create new branches, implement something, and then request for it to be merged onto the original repository here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to my account and just replace this with my name actually. Ooh, I think it's this one here, so DevilutionX. Right, there you go. So you can see that this branch was last updated 3 years ago, which is about right. That was the last time I contributed to this project. What we're going to do is we're obviously going to clone this. I'm going to clone this on my Windows machine here. So cloned it. I'm going to go into development. I'm going to do a git clone Diablo. So what? Permission denied. Right. This happens because I don't actually have a GitHub key installed on my Windows side of things. I think I only added it for my WSL. So I'm going to do that now actually. So obviously I'm not going to be showing you that bit because you don't need to know what my private key is, but yeah. Well, in the meantime, what can we look at? I don't know, I'm just going to put it on Google here for you guys for now. So let me go into settings. I'm gonna add shell keys. Actually, I could swear they already have keys in here. Maybe I don't, maybe I do not. Yeah, so just, I'm just taking a quick 2-minute break while I do this. So you guys are welcome to say anything on the chat. Actually, the stream is quite empty today. I was hoping to get some more people, but it's okay. I keep forgetting what the command is to add generate a SSH key. Okay, yeah, so I do have SSH. Yeah, I mean, I do already have that. I have a key that must be used somewhere, I don't know where. Yeah, okay, so now I'm gonna just copy my public key, ID RSA, and this one you guys can see, so I don't mind too much if I show you guys that, because this is what goes inside WSL. Sorry, this is what goes inside GitHub. And then I have to authenticate with my phone, of course, which is great. Everything is two-factor authentication nowadays, isn't it? So and here we go. So yeah, in theory I should have that key added here. So I was just getting everything working. I can go back into the chat now. Hello King Hader. Hey, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the chat, but now I'm back. Yeah, so let's see if we can clone that directory, clone that repository now. So if we go into development, I do a git clone onto my, that's the public key, and I think it's safe for me to show the public key, right? I mean, I'm going to invalidate this key anyway in a second, so okay. Yeah, so now we should be able to come in here and then do a git clone on my fork of DevilutionX. And here we go, all good. And let's go into DevilutionX. So cd. Ooh, did I clone it to the wrong one? Yeah, I did. DevilutionX. Yes to all. Okay. I'll delete it later. So let's go in here, and then now we can clone. Yeah, welcome to the stream, King Raider. How is he? King Hader. Sorry about that. so we're doing some C++. We're trying to compile the source code for Devolution, so which is the Diablo 1 source code. And we've got everything here now. So, right, oh, we opened the wrong things, Devolution. Now if we code that. Yeah, as you can probably guess, I don't really work natively on Windows a lot, so finding my way around things is a bit difficult. But anyway, so we have a CMake settings here, which is not the presets. But what do we have anyway? So this is selecting the kit. Okay, let's take a look around this. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it better. Packaging, scripting. King Hader, well, all good, thanks. That's good to know, yeah. Hopefully you're going to be just chilling tonight as well, right? No stress, just coding. I know that they've got a CMake preset somewhere, so let's find a... No, they have no CMake presets anywhere. Okay. So maybe we can copy one of our presets into here, right? Susie Tags, welcome to the stream. How are you? I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I'm just looking forward to doing some C++ tonight. Yeah, so I expected them to have the... Oh, they have CMake settings, I guess, so... Configuration, build root, build workspace root. Wait, what is CMake settings anyway? So what does it do? I know there is a thing that Microsoft pushed in CMake, but I don't know what it actually does. The CMake settings JSON file contains all information that Visual Studio uses for IntelliSense and to construct the command line arguments that passes to CMake for specified configuration and compiler. Okay. Same here, bro. That's good, Susie. That's good. Yeah, so, right, I'm kind of debating whether I should copy one of the presets in here. Let's do that, right? Let's do a copy. So copy, does it work? Yeah, okay. So if you copy and then base 64. Wait, what do we have down here? Yeah, let me clone another repo that's going to let us get a nice CMake presets, which is base 64 pp, right? This one is an insane, has an insane CMake presets that I made ages ago. Let's clone it, and then go into DevilutionX again, and then we're going to copy from base 64 pp CMake presets into here. Okay, now we have CMake presets, and I just want to have a look at the Visual Studio ones because we're going to be building natively for Windows, right? Which means I'm going to be using the MSVC compilers, in other words, the Visual Studio toolchain here. So we've got the generator set to Visual Studio 17 already. I think all we need to do is actually just restart this, because once we reload the window, then it's going to pick up the CMake presets. I do have to make a little change though, and the change is this project requires VC package to get the dependencies, as I mentioned at the start of the video. So what we're going to do now is we're going to install VC package, we're going to add it to the path from Windows, and then we're also going to add it to the CMake presets. What is the project you're going to contribute to? We're going to attempt to do some work on the DevilutionX project here, which is the source code for Diablo, right? So it's a game source code. We're gonna just try and compile it now, right? So we're gonna maybe spend another 20 minutes getting everything set up. And once we have it all set up, I'll explain how the project actually works, because it is not as easy in this one. So it requires some explanation. Like, we're gonna be dealing with asset files, and encryption and decryption of certain assets as well. So I'll explain how all of that works. But yeah, this is the project, and I think it's on the description there, on the link, on the description of the video. There's a link. So if you are interested in seeing what this is about, visit the link and make sure you kind of start the project as well, because it's a really good project anyway. So yeah, and obviously for you to be able to work on this project, you need to have the asset files, right? So I think they're the MQP files and MPQ files. which come with the actual game. So when you buy Diablo 1 Diablo 1 and Hellfire from GOG, G-O-G, then you have those files installed. And we're going to go over that in a second, right? The first thing that we need now, or the next thing that we need is VC package. We need to install that. So let's do exactly just that. So we're going to clone it into our environment. And we're going to bootstrap it back. So right now, to make it clear, I'm just installing VC package. Is English your native language? Excuse me. I mean, it pretty much is now, but no, it's not my native language. I am a native speaker, but I'm from Sao Paulo, Brazil. So I speak Portuguese as my mother tongue, shall we say. So bootstrap VC package .batch, and that's what we're going to do. And this script is just going to install everything. I think I think that's it, right? Yeah, install. Okay. So we should have vcpackage.exe now. So what we're going to do is we're going to add vcpackage.exe to our path, right? So on Windows, you probably already know, is environment variables, and then you're going to click on environment variables here, go into your path, and we're going to edit that, right? And of course, in here, I'm going to call pwd, which is going to give me this value, and I'm going to add a new one, which is going to be exactly just that, right? And not only that, I'm also going to add a new variable called VC package root, which is going to add me, it's going to be that directory. And this, you'll see why I'm adding that in a second. It's because I'm going to need it on the CMake presets, essentially. So I'm going to need this variable to be able to find my toolchain file, right? So okay, and yeah. So now if I restart my terminal, I should have VC package up here. By the way, guys, if you are interested in seeing how VC package works, there is a link on the description of the video for another video where I basically introduced VC package in something like 10, most likely like 20 minutes or something. I can't remember exactly. It was a long time. But yeah, if you're interested, please watch that video. Also, if it's not too cheeky, do give this video a like, because it helps me out quite a lot with the algorithm. So the more likes I have, more people are going to watch this live. So thank you. I appreciate that if you can. So VC package here, we should be able to use it. There you go. So we have the binary, and we should also have the VC package root here, right? Or right output. Maybe not. I thought I did add that. So thank you, King Hader. Thank you for the like. VC package, VC pkg root, VC pkg root. Oh, this is interesting. I don't know why it didn't work. Why is this not working? Have I made a typo somewhere? VC pkg root. Edit. Okay. Okay, no, maybe, I don't know why this is not working. Am I just using the wrong thing? So get environment variable PowerShell. Oh, is it env environment? Oh yeah, I think it is, right? It's going to be like env and then, or something like that, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Yeah, env. Or maybe not. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so it is working. It was just the wrong syntax. So let's go into DevilutionX now. And in here, we should be able to do that VC package install, right? And this is obviously going to go onto the VC package.json, which is the manifest file, and it's going to install everything. As I probably mentioned, you know, it's going to install quite a few things, so it might take some time. But these are the things it's going to install. It's installing SDL2, libsodium, getText, gtest, and then some of these dependencies as well. So yeah. So we will figure out here what it needs. Right, so what was acquired here? Okay, no, yeah, I mean, we have some features actually. This is kind of new to me. I've not used features before, so that means we have to enable these, right? On VC package here. So let's see what we get. So Windows, let's build installing. No, we want to build from source. There you go, building instructions. And then Windows via this, and then we git clone, cd VC package, bootstrap VC package, okay. If you want to build a DevilutionX.m, no, we do not want that. It's optional. In case you're using VC package, select specify toolchain and scripts, VC package, VC package. Okay, I'm just worried a little bit that it didn't really install SDL1 or 2. So why is this not working? But yeah, let's modify the CMake presets here so we can finally build it. So let's select a configure preset, and the one we're going to be using today is Visual Studio 2022 debug, right? And let's look at that particular one, Visual Studio 2022. And you can see that here it doesn't inherit anything. So what we need to do is we should probably add another VC package thing here. So VC package, and it's going to be hidden, and the toolchain file is going to be env VC package root. And then we have this, you know, hence why this is why I was kind of defining that variable. It's just so we can use it on the VC package toolchain file, that's all. And then we can use this on VS 2022 in here as well. So we can do something like inherit, I think, and then we can pass in VC package right there. Okay, and then we can reconfigure on VC package on Visual Studio 2022. Obviously something went wrong. Could not find toolchain file, scripts, okay. It's env. Okay, yeah, we just need to restart this because it copied all the environment variables before we actually added the VC package root. But this is not a problem. We're going to be doing that now. There you go. So we have VC package running as we expect here. And we can see that we're going to need to install these libraries: libpng, libsodium, SDL. Right, this is a little bit better now. So and as I said, this is going to be building some stuff locally here from source, so it might take a couple of minutes, which means, you know, me and you can chat now. So how are you guys doing? You know, what are you all up to in this Saturday evening? Apart from watching the stream, obviously, are you all doing some coding? Are you all just like chilling on YouTube, playing some games? Who knows? Where are you guys from? You know, that's one of the questions that I like to ask a lot. You know, I like to see where my viewers are from. There's a lot of people from Africa. There's a lot of people from Brazil sometimes. I seem to have quite a lot of German guys as well, and a few Americans. So yeah, that's one of the things I enjoy quite a lot about streaming, is that you get people watching you from all over the world. So yeah, while this is building, I code some HTML, bro. Nice, nice, dude. So what are you making? You're making a website for what? Have you got an idea? Yeah. Do you know what it's gonna be looking like in the end? Have you checked out the Golang videos and HTMX videos that we've been doing? They're quite interesting as well if you're doing HTML. King Hader. I'm from Iraq. Do you know this? Cool, cool, nice. Yeah, Iraq is not that far from here. I'm in Europe. It's probably like a 6-hour fly on the on the plane, but compared to Brazil, it's much closer. Yeah, so while we're doing this, let me explain to you how this works, right? So we have basically got the source code for this game, Diablo. And I'm gonna just play it here so you can kind of see what it looks like. It's a very old school game, as you probably guess. And essentially, we're gonna compile a binary that's gonna run this game. So I'm just gonna play it a little bit so you can see it. It's like a point and click game, right? So I think the audio is a little bit too loud as well, isn't it? It's very, very loud. Yeah, so you can kind of see like, this is what it looks like.
I don't have a spell ready.
But dude, this is very loud. This is very loud indeed. So options, music, there you go. Let's turn it all the way down, right? There you go. And let's see if we can turn some of the graphics up as well. Or maybe not. The sensitivity is really, really high on the on the OG game as well. I'm not gonna lie. So this is the village. This is Griswold. You can come and like buy your items and shit.
What can I do for you?
There are more characters here. However, I'm just gonna get into a dungeon so you can see what the gameplay is actually all about. Step 2 EV is hi. I'm from the Caribbean, living in Norway. Nice, dude. Welcome to the stream, Step. So yeah, you're also an immigrant, just like me.
Please listen to me.
You know, you get like your first quest here, which is like, you talk to this guy and you gotta kill someone called the Butcher. And the Butcher's like a boss on the second or third level.
I don't have a spell ready.
Yeah. So basically you just go around dungeons and then you go killing some... There you go. I've pressed something, see there. Yeah. So you've got like your inventory and you can open doors and stuff, and you level up and you get your, you get new items, you level up, you get new, what do you call it, new stats as well. You can level up like certain things. So this is the game basically, right? And this project that we're working on today is just a reverse engineering version of that. So they got the game, they had the game binary, and someone kind of looked at the assembly of that binary and then deduced what the C++ code would have been. So it's a very, very difficult problem to do, by the way. Reverse engineering is probably the most difficult thing you can do in programming in general. So yeah. So we've got everything built here. So let's see if we can build a binary, shall we? So if we can do a cmake build. If everything is like fairly smooth, we shouldn't get any errors here. And from what I remember, there may be a few warnings. There's no errors. Oh, there are errors. Yeah, I guess there are errors. Which means this build is going to fail for us, but that's because I've enabled the warnings myself here, so I can remove them. It's not a problem. So essentially what we're doing here is like we're building the source code to create the game executable, right? So that's what we're doing. Now let's just see what's going to fail here, and if it's like a warning that fails, we can solve that very, very quickly. Okay, and close this. Dude, and when I'm streaming, I get so much like shit open. It's insane. Like, and I forget to close windows, and I forget to do everything basically. I forgot the music wasn't running anymore, so I do apologize for that. Okay, so it did fail, and let's see what the issue is. Yeah, so this warning is treated as an error. So this is because I've got warnings as errors here, so WX, for example. And then again, I'm just gonna remove that from there. Okay, that should do it. So let's reconfigure the cache. So I'm not sure if you guys were paying attention, but like the game I just played, it has like, obviously you can see animations, it has sprites and stuff. So all the art, the art itself and the assets for the game, like audio and stuff, they're all they're all saved in this one file called, I think it's diabdata.mqp or something. Let's figure that out real quick. So let me open the directory here without showing you guys too much. GOG Galaxy, and then games, and then we've got Diablo. So here, this is the installation folder when you buy the game and install it yourself. And it comes with this file called diabdata or diabdate.mpq. And this file is an encrypted file that Blizzard sent out with the game. And it contains all the art, all the animations, all of the audio, everything stored here. So this is what you need in order to be able to build the source and play the game. You got to put this diabdata right next to your binary, basically. So let's see if we can build it now without the warnings. It's okay, yeah, we just have a lot of warnings, I guess, but no errors so far, which is interesting. And because it's a very old game, I mean, this is a game from '96, right? So probably before most of you guys were even born. I'm not sure how old you guys are. It's actually a very small project, you know, in comparison to other games, more modern games, which means the build is actually very quick as well. It takes less than 5 minutes to build the entire thing. So, you know, any modern game nowadays with like Unreal or Unity will take a lot longer than that. I mean, you're talking like 50 minutes minimum, you know. And a bigger game, you know, you're not going to build anything in less than like half an hour. So just puts into perspective. Okay, so we do have an error. This isn't ideal, so that means that the game isn't building for us, but... Okay, this might be an issue with my branch as well, so it's actually very, very behind. It's like code from 3 years ago, actually. So let's see if we can fix that, shall we? I need to actually update this branch or this project. So I'm going to reset it to whatever the surgical version is. I need to add an upstream, right? So git remote add upstream. Git remote add upstream, not a git repository. Oh yeah. There you go. Now we're fine. So if I do git rebase upstream, and what is it, master, I guess. If we fetch upstream, is it gonna work? Yeah, there you go. And now let's try and like rebase this. Okay, let's just do a git reset then. So git reset hard onto upstream. Develop. Or master, in fact, right? Okay, now we can push force with lease here. This is my branch anyway, so it doesn't matter. And hopefully, we can reconfigure everything. And luckily we will be able to build now without errors, because this is actually the you know, the version that we should be building anyway. My hot chocolate is now actually cold. And in the meantime, while this is pulling more dependencies, I guess, because yeah, there are dependencies that we didn't build before. Let's talk about the one of the tasks that we can probably tackle here. So if you're looking at any sort of open source project out there and you're looking for a good first task to get started with, it's good to it's always good to see if they've got like labels, and you're probably going to look for the label that, you know, implies that you have an easy thing. So good first issue is a good one. Now let's look at the ones that we can probably tackle here. So actually there's one of them I started implementing but I never finished. So this is the reason why I'm doing this stream, by the way, is just so I can show you guys how to contribute to something online, as well as, you know, getting some more experience so I can actually finish this task, because it's been 3 years since I started this and I've never finished. I just like gave up at the time, I think, but I kind of want to finish it now. But we're not going to start with that one, because that is actually a very, very difficult task and it requires us to do a lot of work, basically. And I'm not going to even explain what the task is about, but it's basically adding birds to the main town where you spawn, which is a feature on the PS1 version of the game, but not on the PC version of the game. So this is what we wanted to do here. Reduce use of globals, that is a good one, I guess. I mean, it's not too bad. But it seems like someone's already working on it, you see, so you don't want to step on their toes in this case. And in fact, has it already been closed? Yeah, so it's already... There's some work being done on that one, so let's not pick that one either. Is there one that no one's picking up? So these two here seem good. So like I can see there's no comments on this one, so it means like no one picked it up. And refactor default class check inventory paste int. Okay, so what this is a refactoring task, which is actually very easy. That means we just have to read code and write it in a better way, but it does the same thing. And it's just this function, I guess. So it's not too bad, right? Yeah, we can do this. I mean, we can do this task. So yeah, let's see if we can start on this task, shall we? And again, we're still building things here, which is interesting. Okay, so now I think we're Gucci, or maybe not. So let's see if we can get some more understanding about this function. Also, let me close that one there. So it's always good to read what the person wants you to do. So Anders Jembo here, this is one of the maintainers, and he's a very nice guy. I remember talking to him back in the day when I was actually trying to contribute to this project, and you know, he's always been a very nice person to talk to. So I've selected Devolution default class for refactoring, which is a unit of 362 lines of code, which is quite big for a function, and 136 branch points, 135 different branches. That's crazy. Addressing this will make our code base more maintainable and improve better code hub. Write simple units of code guidelines. Cool. Definition: limit the number of branch points per unit to 4. Limit the number of branch points, okay, to 4. Keeping the number of branch points low makes units easy to move, to modify and test. Okay. Split complex units with a high number of branch points into smaller and simple ones. So this is basically saying that you have to split the function into smaller and different ones, and you call those functions from within the big function. This one in particular has big switch that could probably be split out into sub-functions. Yeah, cool, we can do that. Good luck and happy coding. Yeah. No worries, we'll try that. Yeah, let's see if we can build it now with the current code base. So copying the fonts. So I'm interested, have you guys ever done some like game programming before? Have you ever done any game coding? I know that some of the viewers actually working in the gaming industry, so did we already get an error? Which is kind of annoying if we did. I don't think so, did we? So building it might be one of the hardest things that we can do today, actually, because it's a project that puts a lot of things together. I'm just looking out for errors to make sure that we have no actual errors, I guess, in the build. Just a lot of warnings, it seems. So, yeah. So a lot of conversions from like integer conversions that don't match. It's kind of standard stuff you get in C and C++. Yeah. Compiling the engine now, so hopefully we're nearly done now. So I haven't seen any errors yet, which is good. So that means we might be okay. It might be good to go now. It might be good to go. Yes, we're actually compiling the engine code, which is good. I recognize some of these files from back in the day as well. Like, I think I had to work on missiles.cpp before. I don't even know, actually. Let me take a look. By author, can I look at author? There you go. So I did some work on this before and I don't know exactly what it was. So far it's changed. Yeah, it's on the item stuff actually. So I refactored, see, I refactored start walk, which is just one file. And I reduced quite a bit. I guess I added more lines, but not too many. And then this one I reduced quite a few lines by doing something. I can't remember what it was now. Again, this is ages ago. 2021, so yeah, nearly 4 years ago basically. Or nearly 3 years ago, I guess. Oh, cool. We're just waiting for the build. I know this is not interesting, guys, and I do apologize, but you know, building is a big part of coding, so we're just gonna have to wait, unfortunately. it's actually building quite a lot of stuff now. I mean, the build used to be faster. New sub added from India. Love you, Gok. Thank you, dude. Thank you. I hope you also enjoyed the C++ content, because I will be doing some more C++ too. But yeah, I've been loving writing Golang. So such a simple language. Yeah, you can make very quick applications, very complex applications with it, because it's just a language that's very easy to understand and easy to get going with, isn't it? As opposed to C++, for example, or Rust. So yeah, Go is definitely like one of my favorites right now. But thank you, Sachin. And if you can as well, dude, if you're feeling in a good mood, do give this video a like so YouTube can go and show it to more people. I would appreciate that so much, my man. Thank you. And while we wait for the build, guys, feel free to drop any questions, anything you want to talk about. I'm here to answer your questions. So yeah, so let's look at maybe we can look at the function a little bit more. Already liked. Keep up the great work. Thank you, dude. You too, man. Keep up learning. Keep investing in yourself, man. That's all I can say. So this is the function that we're going to be refactoring today. This is the contribution that we're going to try and do. It may take a lot longer than the stream, so we can at least get started on the stream, right? But I can see a lot of things here that kind of don't make sense already. Like there's a bunch of declarations here which we can just like remove and see why they are used, and then just declare them where they are used, essentially. There's a bunch of if logic here that just doesn't make any sense to me at the moment. I don't know what it's used for, but we can definitely make this a little bit easier. I mean, this is like alien code for anyone who's not like a systems programmer, I guess. There's a lot of like indexing using the variables that we defined before, which may be uninitialized, or maybe not. Yeah, see R, we can just move in here straight away. That's one of the points here. And if it's not done, we return. Alright, so done equals true. That's interesting. So done equals false. What the hell? I will need to understand what this is doing. Bro played the Minecraft song. Yes. Oh yeah, shit. Sorry guys. There you go. Sorted. I'll tell you what, right? All these songs are quite bad because I have to use a copyright-free playlist on Spotify. Because if I actually play the songs that I actually like to you guys, I will get 10-15 different copyright strikes on my videos. Which means that if it does come to the day where I can make some money off YouTube with adverts, for example, I'm not going to be able to, because the videos are all going to have a copyright strike, which kind of sucks, right? But this is the reason why my playlist sucks. But if you have any suggestions, if you know any playlists that are copyright free and have good music, send it my way, send it on Discord, and I will certainly listen to it. So yeah. Right, so we're still compiling, still compiling. I mean, it is the first compilation, so we do expect it to take a little while, I guess. We let it go, let it cook. Let it cook. Can you give me some tips to get a job as a programmer? I've been learning Flutter for 2 years. Yeah, I can give you a tip, dude. So like Flutter is, if I'm not mistaken, it's like a language supported by Google, isn't it, to create UI. So I have heard of Flutter before. In fact, I've actually tried to do some of it before. The first tip, right? Don't stop doing it. If you don't get a job in a year after you've started, or 2 years after you started, don't give up, because most people give up before they actually find a job, and they just get dismotivated and never succeed in the end, right? And I've had friends in the past who, decided they're gonna start doing programming, but then, did it for 6 months and then didn't find anything, and then kind of just gave up, right? just keep improving yourself, keep learning every day, keep doing some projects that you enjoy, maybe some open source projects as well, like we're doing today. And one day you're going to have enough experience to actually go into that interview and basically just ace it. So whatever questions they ask you, you're going to know the answers to all of them. Second tip, right? You do Flutter now. However, is Flutter actually a very popular language nowadays? So like in the sense of having the number of jobs, right? For example, I know that JavaScript jobs are quite plentiful. There are JavaScript jobs everywhere in things like React and Node backend development. So maybe learning one of those languages would be better off instead of Flutter. You know, again, I don't have the data here to show you, but if you go on Stack Overflow and you look at the surveys, you know, basically just pick one language that's at the very top of popularity, because that means there will be more jobs available in that language, and therefore it's easier to find a job. So how would you find an impressive idea to work on? I mean, people ask they essentially ask that question or a variation of it all the time, and the answer is that I don't really like. I'm on the internet all the time. I follow like programming news, and like I watch YouTube programmers. I read articles written by coders, and sometimes one or two of these projects do pop up. So for example, I found out DevilutionX through, I believe it was Modern Vintage Gamer, which mentioned it in 2018 or at the end of 2018, and I thought, wow, that's a really cool project. I kind of want to go and you know, read the code base and see if I can improve it somehow. King Hater, really appreciate it. No worries, dude. And yeah, if you ever need like any mentorship or any kind of answers to questions, just feel free to contact me. Make sure you join the Discord chat as well, because I'm usually in there every day, or I check it every day. So yeah. Oh, we have a linking warning. Okay, I thought it was a linking error. We would have been screwed here if it was a linking error. So we've already built, you can see we've built DevilutionX.exe. So in essence, right, we should be able to go into our terminal and look at the build directory. So wait, what am I doing? Development, DevilutionX, build vs debug. So we should have the debug directory, and we can see that should have built DevilutionX here. Okay, so we have that executable, which is the game. This is what I'm trying to say. So we've built the game here from the source code, right? So if we try and start that, it's going to start, but it's not going to work, and I'll tell you why it's not going to work. Well, you probably see why it's not going to work. There's going to be an error. Oh no, there is no error. I have no idea why it didn't work. But usually when it doesn't start, it tells you it's because you don't have the diab data .mqp, I think it is, right? Which means we have to copy that file over to this directory here, the same directory that we have at DevilutionX.exe here, right? And I'm just going to wait for the build to finish. So we can start, you know, porting things over. But yeah, I mean, maybe we can just copy things over right now anyway. So let's copy whatever we have here, diab data.mpq into here, right? So we've copied it over, and I do wonder that if we start this now, DevilutionX, if it's going to start just fine now. No, it still doesn't start. That is interesting. This has never kind of happened before, but yeah, so the build has succeeded. However, we can't start the binary for some reason. For some reason, we don't know what's going on here. So this should have been working. No idea why it's not, but we're gonna figure out. If I launch it from here, does it work? No, it also does not. Maybe if we debug it, right? So if we go into DevilutionX, so there's got to be somewhere where we add executable called bin target. Okay, so what is it? Yeah, DevilutionX. Win32. Okay, exe manifest. And we've got source main. So let's put a breakpoint in the source main and see what's going on, right? So we can kind of see why we can't start this. Oh, is this a song from the Mario film? I think it is, isn't it? The Peaches one. Source, and then we have main in here somewhere. So we have int main, and we also have there you go, Diablo main. Let me put a breakpoint here, and then we're gonna start I guess we're gonna create a launch.json file on Windows, and we're gonna add a new Windows executable. Oh no, not attach, please. Launch. So this is going to be build vs 2022 debug, and then we have DevilutionX, if I'm not mistaken, .exe, right? So in essence, we should be able to. The following argument was not expected. C. What? -C, I don't know what that means, but what is the debug console showing me? So we got build, and then we obviously have debug and then DevilutionX right here, right? Which is here. And we've got the PDB files as well, which kind of DevilutionX. Okay, so maybe we just gotta yeah, no idea. Let's see. Prints the help message and exit. So they've added some actually. Game selection force shareware mode. Okay, maybe if we launch Diablo, that will work now. No, that doesn't work. So Hellfire, does that work? The issue is like it's obviously not starting, and I don't know what errors we're getting, basically. And I also have no idea why this isn't running here. So C++ Windows launch. And that's what we got, right? CPP vs debug. Yeah, what does that mean in the VS Code? The following argument was not expected. It's like it's passing the wrong arguments to the debugging command. Yeah, can I see what the debugging command is? Like, what is going on? Type. So. No, this kind of sucks. This should work. It should work. I mean, I do have the C++ stuff here, right? Yeah, I do have all of them. Extension pack as well. Good. Yeah, I'm kind of confused now, guys. You see? Fixed in this. So fix running terminal when exec base name is WT. So if we, instead of this, we just did a integrated terminal. It seems to be like terminal related, so maybe if we change it to the terminal. Okay, yeah. Now this is better. This is much better. Okay, yeah. That's because we're running on Windows here, so we have to do this. And I guess it's the same thing for here too. At least we got a better error now, you see. And this is why it's always really good to Google exactly the error that you're seeing, right? So we were getting something like, you know, what was it again? We were getting this error on VS Code when launching the debugging mode, right? So we were getting VS Code, C++, the following argument was not expected C. And that kind of took me to one of the issues on VS Code. And then another issue on VS Code as well, in here. And then this particular issue said that it was fixed in this PR, right? And if you take a look at the PR, it says that, you know, running terminal when exec base name is WT gave you an error, right? So this immediately makes me think that it's something related to the terminal mode here, which before was something like, you know, what was it? External terminal, right? This wasn't giving us a nice error, but as soon as I changed it to integrated terminal, it gave us a much better error, as you can see here. So the path is invalid in this case. So it's probably, I got it wrong, right? But that's not the error I was getting before. So in essence, by searching for the error on Google, the exact error that I was getting before, it made me realize that I might be able to fix this by changing the console mode, which then gave me a better error, which now tells me that I probably have this thing here wrong. So this is what good programmers do all the time, by the way. You're just not scared of Googling even the most stupid things, because it's going to be a lot faster for you to figure out what went wrong if someone's already had that issue before. So, you know, for you guys watching that are just starting to program, always do this. No matter what error it is, just Google it. Just Google it and see if someone else has come up with a solution to it before. If not, you might get even closer to a solution, which, you know, is always a plus, right? But anyway, let's see what we got wrong here. So it was VS 2022 debug in build, workspace folder, build, VS 2022-deb, and then we had debug and DevilutionX. So I don't actually see why this is wrong, but, you know, we can kind of put it here. Okay, yeah. Now, I was just being dumb in that case, because I put the current working directory as an executable, which obviously isn't valid, right? So, yes, Day of Redemption, thank you. I think we are a little bit delayed, but now it should work, right? There you go. So, yeah, we can finally debug this and see what's going wrong in this case here. So, load languages, save options. So, Lua initialize. Okay, so Lua initialize Stack Overflow here, right? So copy string, begin and end. So what is Lua initialize actually doing? So this is what we're getting. This is why our code isn't working, because of this function. And I have no idea what Lua initialize is even doing. Registering DevilutionX object table, loading without a sandbox. So if it's debug, we've got that. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we definitely want to look at this and see why this is throwing us an error. So let's look at this again. By the way, welcome to the stream, Day of Redemption. It's good to see you again, dude. Good to see you again. We don't care about this breakpoint anymore because we know that it kind of happens inside here somewhere, right? So Lua open libraries works fine. Run script fails. Registering DevilutionX. So what this is actually doing, require generic string. This is DevilutionX source code. Let's see if we can kind of figure out what this is doing. This is obviously loading some sort of like a Lua plugin or an interpreter for Lua, right? I guess. Lua. So save call to result. Rule optional. If it's not valid, if the result is not valid, we get the type, Lua error, unknown Lua error. Right, this is interesting though. Let me run this again and see what the error actually was. So sol, what is sol? I guess sol is a dependency of sol C++. Oh, it's a Lua binding. Okay, library. So a fast, simple C++ and Lua binding. When you need to hit the ground running with Lua and C++, sol is the go-to framework for high performance binding with an easy to use API. Right. So it's just the bindings for Lua, I guess, right? Cool. It was interesting to figure out why this is not running for us though. So DevilutionX.events. So if I'm kind of guessing, I believe that the package name here isn't found anywhere, right? Or is not in the same directory. So let's see if that is the issue. So if we look for DevilutionX.events. By the way, this was not a thing when I was contributing to this. So this Lua stuff is kind of new to me. I've definitely not seen this before. Maybe if we find it somewhere. So what is it called? DevilutionX.events. I don't actually know what this is. Sol object run scripts package name. Load script from assets. We got a package name. Oh, but this is not the thing that fails, is it? This is not the thing that fails, so... yeah, run script is the one that fails. So it does load the package name. So what's the result type here? Well, I guess it's not. It is a string, right? If it's not optional. Okay, so can we set, I mean, it seems like this will not throw me an error if this optional is true. So can we actually set this optional to true. Optional equals false. Like, what is the actual what actually happens if I just set it to true? I just want to disable it for now and see if we can continue from there, and then I'll figure out what's going on with Lua before, later. Hey, no more CMS in the Go. There is CMS in Go, dude, just not today. I felt like doing some C++ today, and I hope that's okay. Today we're doing some gaming, I guess, game programming. So this shouldn't take a long time anymore, right? But yeah, welcome Bogdan, welcome to the stream. And yeah, stick around, dude. I know it's not Golang, but you might enjoy doing some C++ anyway. We're going to basically be doing some, hopefully, some refactoring here as soon as we get this kind of working on our machines. But this is the Devolution source code, which is the reverse engineering project for Diablo in C++. So essentially just compiling Diablo on our machines here, right now. I'm actually quite thirsty. I mean, it takes quite a while, doesn't it, to build? Even though everything's like already built and I've changed very little things. But anyway, we got it. So let's see. Does it still fail? Do we still get an error? Oh, we still get an error somewhere. So we get an error in SDL main, Diablo main, save options, in Lua initialize run script. Right, interesting. So let's see why this is still giving us shit. I just want to get rid of Lua. I wish we could get rid of Lua. Is it a feature to get rid of it, by the way? So if we do run script here, Lua initialize. What is the stack trace? So it's coming from Lua initialize in this case, which is where? Diablo main. I can't get rid of it, can I? So Lua initialize. Yeah, it's just doing it anyway. So optional is false. Safe call to result. So run script still fails. Lua load script from assets. Is this what's scary? No, this is not the issue. An optional here is true. Doesn't throw us a fatal there. Returns a Lua nil. Okay, so then we get like a callback somewhere, which is kind of weird, I guess. Yeah, I have no idea, guys. No idea. I'd love for me to be in the mood for C++. Unfortunately, my romance with it ended after university. It's okay, dude. If you do go, just drop a like. I would appreciate that. But yeah, I'll see you next time, man. Thank you very much for tuning in, though. Let's see if someone's already had this issue before again as well. Lua error. We want issues, definitely. Did they say anything on the build document by any chance? Installation structures, so build from source here. And then we have Windows by Visual Studio. Yeah, interesting. I don't need Lua installed on my machine, do I, by any chance? So Lua is being downloaded from DevilutionX, from VC package. Inspect the Lua. So we've got the assets.cmake. There you go, DevilutionX events here. Huh. Maybe this is something that we have to move somewhere. Set DevilutionX assets. Where's this used? So we don't want it in there. So if this is Apple, we don't want that. Anything else? So for each asset in DevilutionX, the source is whatever this is, and DevilutionX output directory assets file. List append DevilutionX MPQ files, DevilutionX output. Okay, so it's like they're building their own MPQ files with the assets now. Where is this located? Surely this is going to be in the build somewhere. It's putting the assets somewhere in the build directory. Is it going to be in debug assets, maybe? No. Okay, yeah, I am confused still. Like, I have no idea what is even going on here. Stack Overflow parameter, basic string format. Argument not found. What argument is not found? App fatal. Failed to open file. Yeah, great. So UI art diablo.pal. So it failed to open this file. Load file in memory. Which file is it trying to load? Yeah, you are. Does it? Yeah, I mean, back in my day anyway, so it used to work with diupdate.mpq, so the original file. I wonder if this is not the case anymore, you know. Diablo quit. Seems to be something on the UI rendering that's failing. Wait, what? That was interesting though. You can get it, it's fine. So this is causing like a stack overflow, which I'm just not understanding what's going on here, to be honest. So if the Lua script fails to get a string, load script from assets, evolution event. Yeah, maybe I have to build the MPQ file here. So let's see if there's something on the build that will tell us. I think, yeah, this says optional here, but it's clearly not optional, is it? It's definitely not optional. In order to build evolution, install SMPQ. Okay, yeah, we can do that. SMPQ. And we can add that to our path, I guess. So where was it again? SM. Very, very confused now. Why is it not working? Let's stop the debug for now. I want to install this again just to see where the path is. Okay, program files. Okay, cool. So we need to go into program files and then SMPQ, and it's here. Right, so apparently we need this in our path. Let's add that, not a problem. Oh gosh. And I guess, once we've done that, what actually happens now? Do we have to restart VS Code? I think we do, right? So he picks up the new path. Okay, let's see now. Hopefully it triggers it automatically, I'm not sure. Let's see if anything on the CMake configure step is gonna kind of tell us anything about building the MPQ files. We can probably search for it as well, MPQ. And if we open this, we can do files to include .cmake. So build assets MPQ seems to be a flag that we can set to true here. So let's do that. Or on, in fact. Static that, okay, yeah. Let's reconfigure it. Let's see when this is used. So if build set evolution, so MPQ. Good. I think that flag should build the assets that we need now. Let's see. Let's see if that's the issue. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you guys. It seems to be looking for a Lua file somewhere. And I think that's coming from the MPQ file. Again, they say that this is optional, so I set it to, I didn't actually bother trying to install that or to build it. But it seems like it's not optional, is it? It seems like you need to build it, so let's build it again and see. I want to kind of keep a close eye here on the output to see if it says anything about the MPQ. So it's copying like all the stuff that's going into the MPQ, I guess. And for those who are wondering, if there's still anyone watching this, because I know it's quite boring now, the SMPQ program that we've added essentially encrypts all of the files into one file, one MPQ file, which is the Blizzard format. This MPQ thing is a file format by Blizzard, as far as I understand, and it was shipped with a lot of games back in the day. I guess until they stopped using it, right? Because it's not really used anymore. I think people kind of reverse engineered it very, very quickly. So. But we should see, I mean, I do wonder if we should see now the DevilutionX.mpq file here. So we've got that data here, and then the MPQ file. Okay, so we seem to have built things, but do we have the MPQ file? I'm not entirely sure. No, I don't think we do. Is a cmake install required here? Cmake install required by any chance? There you go, libmpq. So it's all going into debug. Maybe that's what we were missing as well. I can see all the libs there. I can't really see any MPQ files being installed anywhere, which is disappointing. Let's take a deeper look into this thing here. So assets, building devolution, and the output seems to be devolution MPQ file. Oh, there you go. Now we have it. So maybe if we go into install, it's all here. Right, yeah. Let's see if this is gonna work. There's a readme. We should have probably done this straight away. Discord links, blah blah. How to install, extract the files, copy the app data from the CD. Yeah. Okay. So this is more like it. I'm just gonna paste this file here, which is what we're missing, into my debug here. Now let's see if that works now, right? Yay! There you go. Finally worked, guys, finally. Yeah, as I said, it's not very clear that you need to build the MPQ file. On the documentation, that's one of the things. It says that, you know, DevilutionX.mpq file is optional, but an out-of-the-box build actually requires it for the Lua stuff. So it kind of threw me off there when the Lua stuff was failing, but we got it in the end. So let's enter Hellfire. Yeah, if you guys are interested, Hellfire is Diablo 1 with an extension. It's an extension to the game, and it's really, really good. By the way, really, really good. Let me just turn the audio down a little bit, make sure that everything's working. Turn the audio down. Jesus. There you go. I'm just gonna turn it down on the stream here so you guys are not like overwhelmed. There you go, 720. And I can do a single player now. That's great and beautiful. Great, great, great. So now we have the game running for us, which is, you know, took us a while, didn't it? Took us like over an hour to compile it, but that's because of the Lua stuff. But we're over there, it seems. Yeah, let's try and get into a dungeon and see if you can see that compared to the original game that you download from GOG, this has higher resolution sprites and stuff. So that's, you know, one of the, I guess, advantages of of running the open source version of it. I guess it's Hellfire has that as well. If you install it from GOG, Hellfire is higher res. We've got the butcher stuff here. We can go into the dungeon. And let's see here. So yeah. Okay, this is good. This is good. Yeah, this is working fine so far. One of the cool things that we can do now is, like, when I started when I started working on this project a few years ago. I say that as if I do it every week. I don't anymore. Like, I contributed to this twice, and that was like years ago. But one of the cool things that you can do to, you know, see how your changes affect the game is come into the village here, and you can try and change the names of the characters. So for example, we have Griswold, which is going to be the guy you buy things from down here. Let me just put the sound up a little bit so you guys can actually hear it. And you can see you can talk to Griswold and gossip, right? Or if you go over his name as well, it says on the bottom here, I'm not sure if you can see, Griswold the blacksmith, right? So let's try and look for this text and try and change this name, shall we? That would be a cool exercise to do at the start. Obviously we're going to get into the actual task in a bit. So Griswold the blacksmith. So we have Towner here. So Towner is the file that contains all the code for the actual towners, so the people living in the town. which includes Griswold. So the name, we can change the name here. So Griswold the dickhead, right? Let's see if that will kind of work. So if we recompile this, in fact, this part of the code is actually quite readable. I remember looking at this before, and it's one of the good things about this code base. Like this is very well structured. The ton of stuff, from what I remember. Yeah. And hopefully when it builds, we should be able to see the change there. So you can see like all the Clang animation, sorry, all the animation orders for the sprites. It's like how he animates, like you get sprite 0, then 1, then 2, then 2, then 1, then 0, 15. It's quite interesting. Right, so we should be able to actually go into here. We don't need this breakpoint anymore because now we've figured out that the Lua stuff just wasn't being like loaded because we didn't have the MPQ file, right? That's all. So let's go into single player again, select my character, and then click on normal. And let's see if Griswold's name did change here. So there you go. So you can see on the bottom here that that simple change that we made actually did change the game. So you can see that the name is now Griswold the dickhead, right? So yeah, I mean it's cool that you can do that kind of change, that simple change that affects the game straight away. Now we should probably get into the actual task, right? So the actual task that we set out to do was to kind of refactor this code here. So check inv paste. So we're going to copy this and then figure out what it is. So we'll do Control F here, check inverse. And let's see how this is actually, what this is actually doing first. Let's see if we can figure out what this function is actually doing in the code base. So because of the naming here, I kind of have a feeling that this is doing something on the inventory item, right? So it's on your inventory. So as I've mentioned, you have items in the game, and let's see if I can show it to you. You kind of have items in the game and you have the inventory. So I'm gonna go into the game again, just to show you what I mean. I think if you press I here, you get your inventory, right? And then you got like your bow here and stuff. So this is, because the function is called check inv paste, I guess is doing a check every time you paste the item, right? So every time I paste an item into my inventory, this is going to do some check of some sort for a purpose or another. I don't know what the purpose is, but this is what it's doing. And if I had to guess, it's probably so it does a check to see if it overlaps with any of the items here. You see? But yeah, how much gold pieces do we have? We have 100. Let's try and buy some gold pieces here. Or in fact, can we quickly modify this so we can start with more than 100? Let's see. So can we do that? Can we files to include .cpp? Okay, yeah, there's a lot of 100s apparently. Implode game menu. Heap size, items. Let's see if we can find the code that actually initializes the number of golds that you've got, the number of money that you've got in there, right? It's not going to be monster, it's not going to be movie, message. I don't think it's going to be an object either. Let's take a look at the lines here. It might be in player though. It might be in player, I'm not going to lie. Might be in player that as well. But what is this? What is this? gold, 100 here, right? So we have something that looks promising. So the rogue here, that's what we're starting with, right? Rogue. It starts with 100 gold, I guess. Let's put a million here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just so we can have enough gold to buy some items on the game. Obviously, we're gonna have to recompile this. And this, to me, it seems like it's the starting state of the players, right? So every time you create a rogue player, then you know, you're gonna start with this stuff here. Like you can see the skill and the default spell, the spell level. So the only one that starts with a spell level is the staff, or sorry, the sorcerer. And yeah, I mean, you're free to look at this code base whenever you want, by the way. I'm not going to go over too many things. But yeah, I mean, in theory, we should have a million gold now at the start. So the player starting loadout data, that's the one. And because it saved my my game before, I kind of have the feeling that we have to start a new game, right? And we'll figure that out anyway. So yeah, because it will have saved the number of gold, or the gold that I had, the state. Okay, so now if we run on debugger, and as I said, you know, I'm gonna try and like just start here, and you can see that my gold is still gonna be 100, right? Yeah. But if I start a new one, so quit the game. Oh, okay, so that just quits the game. It doesn't go to the main menu. And if I create a new rogue, so new hero, okay, or rogue. Normal mode. Do I have a million? That's the question. I do, yeah. See, I've got 10,000 gold actually. That's the. I'm pretty sure I said a million, right? So did I put 10,000? Conversion from int. Oh yeah, that's why. So it wrapped around. I mean that's fine. This is because it's int 64, int 16. So if I do that. Is it gonna work now? So yeah, 10,000 seems to work anyway. What I could do is is into int, right? So if I do -1 here, I mean this is a hack to basically go to the largest amount, I guess, right? Which is gonna break the game, but in a good way for us. Yeah, let's see if we can rebuild this. Yeah, the only thing I don't enjoy so much is the build times. It's taken a little bit long, if I'm honest, but oh well, it is what it is. The reason why I'm doing this, by the way, I'm adding a bunch of gold so we can buy a bunch of items and see what behavior we're kind of trying to modify or to refactor here. That's all I'm trying to do, basically. Because I have a theory about that function, but I don't know exactly what that function is doing for us, right? So I don't know what this function here, what is it? Is it check inv paste or something? Yeah, this is the one. I don't know exactly what this function is doing. You know, I have to guess that it's checking the stuff when we do a paste of an item somehow. Okay, so when is the build gonna stop? I'm not sure if there's anyone watching this, but it's kind of sad if everyone went away before the the good stuff actually started happening. To be fair, I was stuck on building it for a long time, so I don't blame them too much. Single player. So I'm going to delete these two here. Don't care about them anymore. We just don't care about them. We're going to start a rogue again. On nightmare mode, on normal mode. And we can see the inventory. There you go, we have 10,000 gold here. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. This game works in the following way. If you have over 10,000 gold, it just creates a new item slot here for you, basically. But yeah, I mean, I can go into Griswold now and buy a bunch of stuff, right? So let's buy some basic items here. So we have that. Yes, let's buy it. We have leather armor as well. Let's buy it. We have shield. We can't buy that, yeah. Let's go back and buy some premium items as well, shall we? So fire of short bow strength. Why not? And we're gonna buy a bunch of these. Oh yeah, I don't have enough room in my inventory now, which is good. So we can kind of come in here and then I guess put the inventory up, right? So we have this one that will go there, and we're gonna put that here as well. Okay, so this is what I think that function is doing, by the way. So when you have two items here, for example, that occupy 4 squares, I think it's checking whether or not you can paste it, right? So when you come in with the rag that occupies six different squares here, and you put it on top of the booklet, so the booklet here, it lets you swap, right? Because you can do that, because it's only swapping one item. However, if you were to swap the rag into like this space here on the side, it won't let you do that because there's more than one item in that space, right? I think that function is kind of doing something like this. It is definitely checking the paste somehow, right? But yeah, there's only one way to figure out. So let's save the game, first of all. Let's quit the game. And, oh, what is that? And let's get into that function that we were just talking about. And let's read through it and see if we can if we can kind of deduce anything from here, right? So item, size item. What is the size? Okay, so size is the size of integer. Size of integer. Okay, size of is a structure which has a width. Oh, okay, so it's a 2D size, basically, which has a width and a height. That's good. We understand that. So this gets the inventory for the hold item. What is hold item? I don't know. Does it say what hold item is? I believe it's the item that you're holding right now, isn't it? It probably is, if I had to guess. But we don't know. That's the thing. We're not entirely sure. And get inventory size for the item. We'll get the size for the item, right? I can trust that at least. So we have item size index, item.i curls. What is that? Plus cursor first item. Okay. Yeah, this does some crazy function here. It's a crazy function to get the item size. I'm just going to trust that it gets the right item size, such as something like, like 2 by 4, right? Which is the cape that we had. Let me just make sure. So width and height, right? That's what it is. It's a structure that has width and height. Yeah. So for example, that cape would have been that. So this is what it returns. Cool. So far, so good. We understand one line so far. So int slot, find target slot on the item cursor. Okay, so find target slot on the item cursor. So you have the cursor position, so where our cursor is, and the item size. This is crazy. This is way too big, but I'm gonna just trust that it finds the exact target slot, I guess. The slot is just an integer though, so it's cool. So if this lot is number of XY slots, what is that? Number of XY slots. Okay, so number of XY slots is 55. What does that mean in the game though? Because I'm not entirely sure. Let me run it again and figure it out. So 55 is the maximum number of slots, right? So it probably is checking if you're adding it to the last slot. I'm not entirely sure. Let's load the game. So if we go into the inventory, so it's 55 was the number, the magic number. Let me get the calculator out. So in here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 10 times 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I count 46 slots, right? But I guess these slots take they count for more than one slot, I guess, right? So we have 40, 41, 42, 43, and then we've got the hat slot here, which would have been 4, right? So that is 43 plus 4, that's 47, and then each of these is 6, which doesn't really make any sense to me anyway, because that would definitely be more than 50, what is it, 55, because you've got 43 plus 4, 47 plus 12, that's going to be 59, right? So I don't quite understand what this is doing just yet though. Identifiers for each of the inventory squares. So slot head is 0. Ah, okay, so this is just the ID for each of the slots. Cool. So we've got the belt items as the last ones. Oh, okay, so we've got more here. So I guess each of these is accounted for one slot. So you have 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Yeah, so we've got 47 here, 48, 49, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that makes sense now. So I was just failing to see that we have these slots too. So far so good. But why? What if this lot is the number of slots though? I don't understand this. Belt last. Like, when would it ever be 55? I mean, this function clearly can return 55, I guess, right? I guess you can anyway. Anyway, cool. I'm gonna trust that this is working. So this is just a check to make sure that you're within the range, I guess, of the slots. So you chose a valid slot from the looks of it. Item equip type. So this is the type of item, whether it's 1 hand, 2 hands, armor, helmet, ring, amulet. Okay, cool. Makes sense. So allocation and equipable. Yeah, so this is just making sure that given this slot that we're trying to allocate to, it will return you this enum here, right? So it will kind of say you're attempting to put an item in the armor bit here, which is like here, I guess, right? Now I don't understand where these ones will be, for example. So this is amulet, so these 3 will be amulets, I guess. We've got the head, which will be the helmet, and then the bow, or 1 hand, 2 hand, I guess. So either this is a 2 hand item, right? Yeah, because when you put it in, it occupies both of them. So it's lot YX, hand left. Okay, so you can see directly, like, if it's left or right hand, then it's a one hand. Where is the two hand here though? Yeah, we don't have that. So I am struggling to figure out why they gave this name, IL. Does it mean something left or something? I don't know. Then we got another item equip type here. So desired IL. So player get item location. So there's only a check, another check here to see if it's a two-hand item, and that checks if it's a one hand, and the desired one is two hand as well. So if it's either left and right hand, and the desired allocation is two hand. Oh, this is interesting. What does this function do? Returns item location taken into consideration. Barbarian's ability to hold two-handed maces and clubs in one hand. Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess this entire code here, so all of this code is kind of just getting the type of equip, right? Such as, what do we have, you know, helmet, amulet, one hand, two hand, you know, etc. So that's kind of cool. So all of this code is doing is basically just that. So can we simplify this a little bit? This is, you know, I guess as good as it gets. Maybe put this on a switch statement. Just gotta make sure these don't appear anywhere else, otherwise you run the risk of kind of breaking the logic. If like one if statement is true here, but it also could be true down here because of the precondition, right? Now the thing is, will this be better if we put it into a switch case? I am not too sure, to be honest. I'm not too sure. I mean, we could put it into a map and then kind of just map it to a... I mean, is it going to be better if I do that? So it's third map, for example. What do we have? Do we have map in here? So we have optional. If we put a map here and then we actually put a slot type, which is what slot? You know, integer to whatever this is, whatever item equip type is. And we turn it into a const and we say this is the item equip type. Or IL. And then inside here we can say, you know, if it's a slot XY head and it goes to iLock helmet, right? That's what we can say here. And it may save us some lines. I don't know if it's going to make it better, but that's what we're going to figure out anyway. And in here we also have, what is it? If it's a slot X, XY, ring left, or we're gonna go for that iLock ring, I guess, and we'll do the same for the right one, right? Now this is going to be a little bit different, you see, because this is an AND, so it has to be Okay, yeah. We can worry about that in a second. So we've done this condition here, and now we need the amulet. Slot XY amulet, I guess, and that's going to go to unlock amulet. What's the next one? So we've done up to here now. We need these ones here, which we have hand left or hand right, hand left, and then hand right. This should have been iLock one hand, and this is also iLock one hand here, right? Yeah. So we've also done this bit here now, and then we've got a chest one. Yeah, slot XY, chest, and we're gonna go to iLock armor. And then this is the interesting one. We can't really put it in the map because it has to be both of them, right? So, yeah. It has to be like more than belt first and then belt last. I mean, we could do a precompiled table here, which might actually increase everything anyway. Yeah, I mean, this could work, right, if we did a precompiled table. I'll show you what I mean in a second, guys. It might actually make it even faster. So anyway, we're gonna keep that as it is for now. So we do something like now, is iLock unequipable? Is it ever none of these things here? So the slot. Are we guaranteed that this is always gonna return a valid thing though? Because it doesn't say anything about always returning a number between 0 and something. So because I don't know that, I'm gonna assume that it doesn't, right? So I'm gonna say something like item equip type IL, or in fact something like this. So if we're going to find it in the map, so ILs.find, and then we're going to go for slot here. And then if we say that if found is the end of the ILs, which means it wasn't found, we can set IL to iLock. Let's put that up here as well though. If it's the end of that, we're gonna go for again too much rust. We do need this here. That's good. Yeah, if it wasn't found, then we can say iLock unequipable, right? And obviously we can do this closer to where we are, where we should be. Now it would be nice to have a function in the maps that says, find or something like that. I guess there is in C++ 20 with the ranges and stuff, but there's no way we're going to be able to include that here. Now, is this better than this though? That I do wonder, because we still basically need the last one here, which is an AND. So essentially, like how many lines did we actually change here? So if we go into inventory, git diff, we removed some lines. No, we didn't make it more readable or anything. We did remove the ifs, and then we got something closer to what I would actually do, which is we create a big array, right, where we have the positions, or we have n positions, so n elements in the array, and the number of elements we have in the array would be the maximum of the slots here, right, which is 55. And then for each index in the array, it would show you what kind of what slot that would be, right? So that's what we can do here. So that's called a precompiled table, and it's used quite a lot in several things. So if we did like an array of size, I don't know, 55, and of what value do we want? Item equip type, and then the size, which is 55, and then we've got ILs here. Now this would be what I would actually do in this case. So I would set it to unequipable everywhere. It doesn't say like exactly what we have here. But maybe we can do this at the very top here. I know this is going to be adding a lot of lines, so you can see that we've got some precompiled stuff in here anyway. Oh, no, just rectangles. So do we have a namespace somewhere? There you go. Why does that namespace end? Jesus Christ. I've got namespace and a namespace here. There you go. I may have done this actually in the past, but yeah. So we could have like a stud array here of item, was it equip type, and then 55, and then we have the precompiled item locations or something like that. Item location table, right? Antonio Augusto, hey, very cool. Thank you, Antonio. Bem-vindo. Unfortunately, not many people find it, so there's like no one watching, but happy that you're here, dude. Anyway, const expert. Let's const expert this shit. Const expert. Not sure why it's not working, but. And obviously in here we can put that the precompiled stuff that we had, right? So we're going to turn that if statement into just a quick lookup in an array, basically. I'm just going to copy and paste this for now, just so I can get it like one step closer. This obviously does make the binary a little bit bigger. I'm not sure by how much though, but yeah, we're gonna see now. Where's that precompiled stuff? So there you go. I'm gonna put it up here just so I can kind of see what we were doing before. Yeah, so basically we want to put this iLock unequipable quite a few times, right? So how many times do we want that? I'm not entirely sure actually. It'll be however many times we were using it here in this lots. So slot head is the 0th one. Slot head equipped first. Okay, that just takes. So we've got inventory first. Here will be the same as that. Okay, so the very first one we want it to be head then. Actually, to make this even better, I'm gonna try and keep this with me. I want to pop up with something here, so there you go. So that's gonna stay here. I'm gonna go up to the namespace. And this is going to be iLock helmet. And then we had the first one, which is ring left and ring right. This will be an amulet, I think, right? Yeah. Lua CPP file spotted Brazil. Yeah, indeed. If you look at the stream on the first hour or so, I had a massive issue building and running the code because of Lua. So it's not optional. They say it's optional on the build, but it's not. You have to build the Lua files with it. Viva Brazil. So yeah, slot XY ring left. I believe ring left is ring left and right. I lock ring. Okay, so I lock ring and I lock ring again. And then in here we've got. Can I do a marker? Just gonna say the things that we've already done so I don't get confused. We have amulet, so which is amulet, right? Amulet goes to amulet, right? Which is the third one. So yeah, I lock amulet. What is that spinning tool? Snipping tool? It's the Windows snipping tool, isn't it? Yeah. If you just press a print screen, Windows actually comes with that. So we've done amulet here, and now we're gonna go into slot XY, hand left and hand right. Hand left and hand right goes to one hand, right? So this is 0. Oh, we don't need to know that anyway. So we need iLock hand left and right. One hand is the one. And we've got left and right now. Now chest is going to be armor. That's the location it's going to go. I lock armor. Sorry, I meant the locked window. How would you do that on Windows management? Oh, cool. Yeah. So this is a very good question actually. So if you do a lot of programming on Windows and you've got things like this where you want to have something always on top of the screen, like this one, there is this nice little tool called Windows Power Toys, right? And it's on the Windows, it's on the Windows market, and it has a bunch of very useful things, such as fancy zones where you can nicely grid layout your windows. It has what you can see here, which is the always on top thing, which is like a keybind. You press Control, Windows and T, and it will keep the window always on top. And a bunch of other stuff. So like image resizers, it has mouse utilities. It has one of the things that I use quite a lot is a utility that print screens text and then it translates it to text. Let me just figure out which one it is. So text extractor, that's the one. And if you look into here, it's Control Shift T, right? So Control Shift T or Windows Shift T. And then you can do something like this here. And then it will copy the text of that image. So if you go into here, for example, you can see that you figured out what text it is, right? Which is very useful, very, very useful in some cases. But yeah, Windows Power Toys, look up Windows Power Toys. That will help you quite a lot. But anyway, we had armor, which is, I guess, the chest, slot XY. We're trying to make something a little bit more efficient and readable, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm just playing with the code at the moment for the task that we're doing. we've got a task to refactor one of the functions in the Diablo code base. So, and then we've got equipped last. We don't care about that one. This is just a reference to another one, a named reference. So we've got slot xy inv first. So the inventory first here. Yeah, this I'm not entirely sure what we wanted there. Be right back. Thank you. Thank you for joining the stream. You can be right back, so you can go, dude. So yeah. I also think that we may be barking at the wrong tree, but let's finish with this this refactor at least. So we had chest goes to iLock armor, and if it's anywhere between belt first, right, to belt last, 44. It's going to be what? It's going to be what's item equipped though? 1 hand, 2 hand, armor, ring, amulet, unequipable, and then belt. Okay, so it does make sense. Unequipable after amulet, right? Which is what we kind of have here, or after armor. So everything up to which index? Everything up to bell is going to be unequipable, right? So everything up to a lock. So we had armor here, which was the chest, which is 6, I believe. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're gonna have unequipable quite a few times. How many times? Well, to be precise, 7 to 46. So what is that? 39. 7 to 36. Yeah. So we're gonna do this. So we're gonna do 39 a iLock armor, comma, oh, iLock unequipable, equipable, and there you go. So we should have exactly 39 now. Hola Miguel, ¿cómo estás? Here I am surviving this heat wave. Dude, is it hot in Argentina right now? You're lucky, it's kind of cold in here. Do we know which? Okay, yeah, so this is 7 and this is 7 as well. And anything after that, so if it's more than belt first, which is the 47th one, and then belt last, is going to be iLock belt. Okay, so how many do we have here? Belt first to last, so we've got 47, 54 minus 47, okay, cool. So this would just be what again? iLock bell. This is Diablo code base. Yeah, I'll play the game in a second so you can see what the code compiles to. Yeah, so we got 7 here. That will be iLock bell. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and that should do, right? This should do. And if we do another one, and another one, yeah, I think we should have like 54 now, 55, but let's see. If we stop the code, and then if we build it again, I'm expecting this to give me an error because we have too many. 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we have one too many things here. right? This should give me an error because I said 55 here and I've got 56 elements. Correct? So we've got 19 here. So we've got 50. But it shouldn't have been, right? This should not have been unequipable. Check inverse paste, so between 47 and 57 we should have the bell. Between 47 and 57. Now where can we find that though? We just added a bunch of stuff here. There you go. Between 47 and 57 we should have bell. About 47. Okay, so we're just missing one of these. No problem. Armory 6, yeah. Okay, good. So now we're back to basics here. $57 and $47. Just to make sure it's less than, yeah, now it includes that. Good. But yeah, and all of this just so we can, you know, do something a little bit more efficiently now, which is one check and just an access to an array, right? So on this function, check inv, is it copy or paste? I believe it was. Yeah, this one here. So we can remove all of this that we were doing earlier. And we can remove this thing here too, maybe. Lock bell. So we have the table. What is it called? Table. Item location table. We're gonna get it for the slot. An item equip type. Item location. It's gonna be this. But obviously this may be out of bounds, right? So we kind of need to safely get that. So we can do something like, you know, I guess, you know, slot is bigger than 0 and slot is less than whatever, 55 I think it was, or 54, right? And if it is that, otherwise it's ilock, whatever it was, ilock unequipable, right? So this replaces that entire logic here, and there's no more checks done here, and we can essentially do that in one line. And what's good about this is that we can actually make this const as well, because we don't change it anymore, do we? Oh no, we do change it, that's right. Down here. So what is the issue? So if ilock is one hand and desired il item location is two hand, so if it was one hand before and it's two hands, we can't make this const just yet. But I want to see if we broke anything. Shall we see that? Let's see if we broke anything on the game. But yeah, we removed lines from this function by kind of adding lines to a precompiled table. But this isn't really any logic addition, it's just an array that we're adding here. And we do have, what do we have here? So item location table. Okay, so item location table is obviously here, but we need to add it wherever it's, before it was getting called somewhere. So let's move it into maybe up here somewhere. Just for now, we can style the code later on. Let's build it. Let's build and play it and see what's going on. Item location table, the undeclared identifier. We should have it now though. Nice. Yeah, so this is a classic example of a precompiled table for you guys. So there was a bunch of if statements here, just basically checking, where a value would lie. You can kind of make it a little bit more efficient, with obviously the trade-off of memory, because you're going to have to be storing these values in memory, by just doing a precompiled table. And this is done because it's static const expert. This is done on compile time as well, which should improve things a little bit. And we should be able to play the game without any breaks, basically. Hopefully, if we've done all of these values correctly here. If we compiled all the table correctly. And then, while this is compiling, another refactor that we can do here is, let's think about it. We can think about this thing here, because this is basically checking whether or not the item placement on your inventory is supposed to be a two-hand item. And maybe there isn't a way to do this. Maybe we'll leave this here for now. Okay, let's play the game and see what happens here. Yeah, we gave ourselves $1 million as well, so $1 million gold, so we can see, we can kind of test this feature out as we refactor it. So if I go in my inventory, okay, does it still work? I mean, things are still seem to work. I can't see any breakages so far. So we still are running those checks correctly here. And this is the code that we've just done. You can see it here. So like if we put a breakpoint there and then change it, whenever we do that check, we can see it that it's going to be here, right? So we have one hand item, and you can see that this is because it's a bow. This is going to be a two-hand item. That's what we're doing here, right? This is essentially it. I'm going to assume that we didn't break anything. But yeah. Now refactoring. What else can we do here? What else can we do here? You can see there's a lot of ifs inside ifs and stuff. So It's a very, very big precompiled table. Would people use something like a macro to write it? If it's a very, very big precompiled table. I don't really understand why you need a macro, but if you want to do meta programming to like generate the table, you say you can create a macro that will create this table where, you know, indexes from 337 to whatever is the same item. Then yeah, you can make it a little bit easier, I guess, right? Yeah, you could create a macro that does that, and then you can have like iLocation equipable amulet times like 10 here or something like that. You could, yeah, could do that. I mean, but in this case, it's not worth doing it because it's just used in one place. I mean, that question is valid if you're asking about doing the same thing over and over again, like say like 3 or 4 times. Then yeah, then you probably benefit from creating a macro. Or you'd also benefit from just creating a function that will generate you that precompiled table anyway. And you can do that in compile time in C++ as well, like a function that's const eval, preferable to a macro. Yeah, so let's see. I mean, obviously I want to refactor all of this. The problem is I just don't understand what this whole thing is doing just yet. So if the item is unequipable, then it's doing some maths here which I don't necessarily understand. Like it's minusing, it's doing this slot minus slot XY inventory first, which I guess is saying that you are placing it in the inventory somewhere that's not unequipable. Kind of makes sense. And you're trying to see which position in the inventory that is, right? And if the player that hold item is gold, and if it's gold, okay, this is getting confusing. if it's a gold item in the inventory, and if the player dot inventory grid, what even is that? Inventory grid cells. All right. So if it's a gold in the inventory grid, isn't 0. IV is player dot inventory II. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that this is kind of like placing a gold item into the grid somewhere. I'm not entirely sure though. And oh yeah, if it's not a gold item, then if it's just a general item, what can we do here? Wait. Oh yeah, this should be moved down here, by the way. Check that the item we're passing only overlaps one other item. There you go. That's what I was saying before. So this function is checking that it only overlaps with one item in the grid. So if it overlaps with 2 items, so for row offset, what does it do? Found 2 different items that would be displayed by held item. Can't paste the item here. It makes sense. I'm going to change this song because it's shit. So yeah, I'm not going to read this entire thing. I'm just looking for things that are obvious that we can refactor into something better right now. And then if this whole thing fails, or if it is equipable somewhere, and if the IL is an item location belt, if it's going on your belt, we check that it can be placed on belt. Okay, and we return that. And if not, else if the desired IL is not IL, we return as well. So we say that it's not possible. This is clearly like not returning a function, not returning the value here. So what is this actually doing? So if I check what this is used, so this is passing a pointer to my player, which means it's probably changing my player's stuff. If is none of, they've never heard of the std none of function, right? I guess. What the hell? And it's part of the engine as well. Or just like not all of. Oh no, so it's checking what? This value isn't any of the others here. Okay, cool. So if the item location is not any of these ones, but again, I don't see why it would be unequipable here because they're already doing that check up here somewhere, right? And if it is equipable, I didn't even know that was valid. Oh yeah, it's called is it variadic template argument, or no? This has a different name in C++. It's the I forgot the name now. Yeah, I think it's just variadic template. Oh no, parameter pack. That's the one. It's I mean, it's been in the standard since C++ 11, so it's a long time. It just means you can do variadic like templates, basically. There's a bunch of things you can do with it. It's fairly useful sometimes. But also, you can get code that is a bit unreadable. Like, you know, if you read this, like, what? If you don't know what it is, what is this? Yeah, you kind of got to understand what it is, though. So you got to be careful with templates in C++, basically. Don't overdo it. That's what I'd always say to people. It reminds me of indexing my ECS. Yeah, so the question is, like, I don't see why it would be. The point is, I don't see why it would be unequipable if you always do you always return it here? No, you don't. So if it's on. Oh, never mind then. It can be unequipable there. So if it's none of these, and the player can use the item. Players say hero speech. I can't use. Okay. Ah, okay. This is cool. This is very cool. So let's see if I can change this. So if I recompile this to a different thing, right? Actually, let's. This is the same. I'm gonna just run this for now so we can see what audio is running. I just want to do something cool real quick. And then change the audio to a dying speech or something. Let's see, can we buy shit from the Elder?
Hello, my friend.
I need to find an item.
Ah,
yeah. Buy premium items. Actually, we need to get some scrolls here from the bitch. What's the name again? I forgot. It's something the witch. There you go, Adria the witch, or Adria the bitch, I guess. That's how I always call them. If we buy something that we can't use, there you go. So scroll or firewall, and if I try and use it, you can see here. Oh. Okay, yeah. See, we've pasted it. I don't wanna paste it.
I can't use this yet.
Can you hear it?
I can't use this yet.
I can't use this yet.
I can't use this yet.
But if we save the game and then kind of change this to instead of I can't use this, I would change it to What is it? Yeah, it's a little bit low, but I heard it. Cool. I'll turn it up next time. So say we'll obviously play that audio somewhere. Nope. Wait, what? Why is player say go into this? Okay. Yeah, it plays a sound effect with the. hero sounds, and then sound effects, one place, location. Randomize play this, which has the engine, the audio engine, I guess, and cool. Do you only rebuild a part of it, or it's really fast to rebuild? No, it's only rebuilding a part of it. Yeah, it's a lot slower than this, and even this is taking a while. The problem is that when you're building with the Visual Studio compilers, it checks. It takes a long time to check that each project hasn't been updated. Just because it does anyway, so it's a bit shit, but it's not rebuilding everything. If you go to the start of the video later on, you can see that it took a longer time to rebuild everything, to build everything for the first time. Maybe like a good 7-10 minutes, I'd say. And now it only takes like not even a minute, hopefully. So I'm gonna load the game, and then we have options here. There you go. And if I do the inventory,
I can't use this yet.
no, it
I
didn't
can't
work.
use this yet. I can't use this yet. I can't use this yet.
That's interesting. It didn't work, did it? Now, why didn't it work? I can't use this here. So objects. Ah, okay, it's because we used it in the wrong. Wait, there's a few times. This is a few places, a few different places this has been used in. Oh, operate mushroom patch. Which one is it? Use stash item. I mean, this is the one we're trying to do anyway, so like... So if it's none of that... I just don't see when this condition would hold. So if it got up to here and it's unequipable, and if it's not any of unequipable, I lock. What is this function? Use in. Okay, this is the use one. I guess this is the one we would have to change, right? I guess the other one happens sometimes. I don't know when. Just a bit of my lip skin off. Oh, now it's bleeding. Great. Let's see if this is gonna work. Takes a long ass time to check everything. Jesus Christ. There you go, finally. So if I do inventory now, I can pick it up, I can place it. I want to see when that gets called though, like when the first one we changed gets called. Yeah, there you go. So that's a little bit weird as a noise, but okay. So just checking, where was it again? So why made this, like, if it's none of unequipable or in the bell, then it says I can't use it yet. But when is that though? I'm trying to understand. Just trying to understand when that would ever happen. Obviously, if I right click it, that's the use function that we changed. But when is the other place I can? Okay, that's interesting. We can't put this in the bell here. Skill is not matched. So where else can he go? I'm just clicking everywhere to see where he would go. Yeah, I have no idea when this ever happens. No idea when this branch ever happens, like. Let me change it to what it was though. I can't use this, yeah. And I can't use this, yeah, here. Okay. Okay, anything else that we can refactor straight away without needing to understand things? I mean, the switch case is looking promising, to be honest. So what this is doing, if the item location is helmet, ring, amulet, or armor, helmet, ring, amulet, or armor, we auto iLock to. Okay, so what is this? This takes an item equip location to inventory location. Okay. What is this? So logical equipment locations. Ring left, ring right. Amulet, hand left, hand right. Okay. This is always going to be a valid, invalid. Okay, so we have invalid here. An expected equipment type. Again, another precompiled table possible here. So table, question mark. What is this? This is minus. Okay. So that is 0. That's 1. Yeah, could be another precompiled table here. Not entirely sure. Body location. Jesus, and it gets a body location. iLock to iLocation to inventory location of the slot. Yeah, I mean, this whole thing can just be one function, definitely. I don't know what it's doing yet, but we'll figure out. So if it's an armor, it can be all of this, or if it's on one hand, it can do all of that, can do all of that. I mean, this is a very, very good contender for just putting it into a function, right? So this one here, for example, we can just refactor it into a different function and make it a little bit more readable. So let's copy that. And what do we call the function that's going to run all of this? So it's essentially transforming a location of the item into an inventory location. An inventory body, number of inventory locations. What is that? So number of okay. Let's see what this is doing. So inventory body is an array for the items on your body inventory, I guess. And you can have all these things equipped on your body. So helmet or a head, a ring left and right, amulet, hand left to right. And these are like shown on the graphics actually when you have a sword on your left, on your right arm, I guess. That's going to be rendered on the right arm. Makes sense. So this is all changing the body item, right? Changing the body equipment. Because this is what we do here. There's a function called that anyway. What's hold item though? Is that the item you're literally holding? Why is it called pop? What? Hold item is an item. An item can pop. Is that pop when it goes on the floor again? When you drop it? Item pop. Clears this item and returns the old value. It returns a reference to an item. Cool. So you temp this and returns. Okay, cool. Item previously equipped. Is that? Wait, I don't understand how this is a. Will this be a reference? No, this is a copied item, right? Yeah. And then you're popping that, which means you. Okay. It takes a const reference to an item, but then it's a popped element, which is. Oh, fuck. This is definitely something that would not be acceptable in Rust. Like the pop function moves this object into this temporary item, and then we run clear. I don't know what clear does. Probably just sets the type to none, I guess, and then yeah, there you go. Sets the type to none, and then returns the temporary item, which itself is an R value reference to whatever we had in this object before in that memory, and that is passed into change equipment, which is a const reference. This is where we should be like running that noise, you know, R, because this is really, this is difficult to, you know, to figure out what this is doing in C++, like the memory side of things here. Because like we copied the item beforehand anyway, like, so why don't we just set it to, we just delete the item here? That's what I don't understand. Very good arg replication, yeah. So it's a bit confusing to me, this bit. But anyway, this whole thing is just changing the body item, right? So it's getting the body location and then equipping it. And we can add that up here somewhere. So let's just add a whatever void. We already have a function called change body. Change body equipment. I guess that's not value. Equipment. we don't need this break anymore. So what do we need here? We need the slot. The slot is an integer, so slot is int slot here. Oh, const. Actually, it's just easier for us to copy the integer anyway. It's probably more efficient. And then what else do we need? We need a player. So the player would be a player structure, I guess. Player, right? Expression must have class, but devolution player. Wait, how is it being used down here? Where's player? Player. There's a reference to a player, okay. Yeah, we can do that. So player, we can do that. We can put it as a reference to a player. And then IL, this is the location type, right? So IL would be what is IL again? What type is IL? It's item locations shit, right? Item equip type, yeah. And then we have the slot. What's the slot supposed to be? Inventory body location. Wait, what? Where are we? So check inventory. What is slot in this case though? Where is slot? It's an integer. So I don't understand why it was... Ah, okay, yeah, it's because it's an inventory. So one thing we have done now, at least we gave this a meaning with the name of the function. IL here though, I can see that it's been used in this function, but like it's not actually capturing it. So how is it getting that? That's interesting, isn't it? I mean, why is it getting slot by the reference? Wait a second. Is that being a reference because it was also being kind of modified inside the lambda? It can't be, right? It just can't be. This is what we had in the lambda, and this was yeah, no, this is not, it can't be modified. Okay, I mean, let's see if this is gonna work, right? So we can build it and then see. I kind of have a feeling that we broke something now though, because that slot has been passed as a... It's been captured as a reference here. But I don't know why. Hey Tom, how's it going, dude? Good evening, welcome to the stream. This is the... perhaps one of the most convoluted code bases I've seen. Well, it's a reverse engineering project, so you kind of expect that anyway, right? But some of the stuff makes no sense though. And let's see if we can still play the game. Yeah guys, if you can drop a like, I would appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'll take that like, thank you. Looks super hard. I've never touched C++. I mean, C++ isn't the problem. The problem is the... I guess the code itself. This is a, to be fair, this is a project where I think only one person worked on for 2 years, and that person literally reverse engineered an entire game by themselves, which is probably the hardest thing you can ever do in programming in general, like reverse engineering things. And it was ported to C, and then this is the C++ part of that C project, basically. So you can see why it's props to that girl. Yeah, it's some random girl in America did it for like literally 2 years in 2018. But yeah, I mean, it works marvelously though. Right, so can we do the inventory? We've not seemed to have broken the inventory stuff, so I'm happy with that so far. Can we change the armor though? That's the problem. So if I go into here,
I can't cast that. Now where would I put this?
And let's kind of see if we can change the armor. So that seems to be working. I'm not sure.
Now where would I put this?
Let's try and buy an armor that actually like changes the visuals, because those two armors will not. Let's go to Griswold. Griswold the dickhead. And we've changed our names ourselves, of course. The game doesn't say that.
What can I do for you?
So buy premium items. Let's see, can we get an armor that will... Cap of magic, cap of balance, cape of dexterity, cap of... Let's buy cap of magic. You don't know how... Space inventory. Yeah, okay.
Whoa! What can I do for you?
Let's get that cap again. Cap of magic, yeah. And then let's see. Is this meant to change? I'm not sure now.
Whoa! What can I do for you?
Cap of balance.
Whoa! What can I do for you?
Small shield. Dagger, claymore. Short bow. I'm looking for something that would change the... There you go. The buckler is appearing, right? So I guess we... Yeah, it's still changing. But the problem is that the thing I've changed was actually the armor. So this is not quite working. Well, I don't know if it's working actually. That's the problem. Let's try and get some new items, right? So if we do save game, and then we load the game again.
Whoa! What can I do for you?
Cape, small shield, Claymore, spiked bow. Is it the same shit?
Whoa, what can I do for you?
Cap of balance is there still. Cap of dexterity. Maybe we can quit the game and start again. Pretty sure that refreshes the items. This game aged quite well, still looks good. Yeah, it looks good because it's on HD now. I mean, we've got the the HD pack. We've got the HD pack, right? So if we
Whoa, what can I do for you?
buy some basic items, cloak, buckler, small shield, dagger. I'm looking for a cape or something that will make my appearance change. Cape of dexterity, mace of readiness. Maybe the boy up there will have something for us. What's it called again? Where the peg-legged boy.
Over here. Hey,
What have you got? Cap of the fox. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, we have a deal. Let's see that cap of the fox. What does it look like? I'm just not sure if it's changing my thing, you know. My appearance.
over here.
Because the thing is, some of the items that you equip in Diablo, they change your appearance. I'm not sure if these items are meant to change your appearance, because they look like normal items to me. They don't look anything special here. So I want to see if like whatever we changed will have changed anything, if broke anything basically. Maybe if I go to Griswold again, he'll have some new items now. I'm not sure when he refreshes it, you know.
Whoa, what can I do for you?
Rags, cloak, leather armor. I do already have leather armor, right?
Whoa, what can I do for you?
Yeah. Let's assume that it didn't break anything. I mean, again, I'll have to test that this actually, you know, test that we haven't broken the change in appearance. When equipping a new armor, or body armor, I guess. But anyway, that's one of the factors that we could do. Obviously, there's the other if statements here. So if it's a one-hand item, we can change the equipment here. So paste hand. What is that? So inventory body location. I mean, all of these functions seem to call the change equipment eventually, right? So we could potentially move this down outside the case, and then inside the case we can just have this stuff that will select the parameters to these functions, right? So that's one of the things that we can do here. So in here we can kind of like select the parameters. I go into remove. Is it remove equipment? Change equipment. And add it to post switch. Because this is the pattern that I can see here. Like all of these functions are calling change equipment all of these switch keys arms, I guess they are called. They're just calling the change equipment here, right? So all of them, if and else, change equipment, and then here as well. If we've got this, maybe not this one. This one is not though. If it's unequipable, yeah. So this one is a little bit different, I guess. Fuck me. I am so tired now, guys. I'm not gonna lie. But we're gonna push this to our branch, right? So we're gonna do a status here, and we are gonna check out a new branch. That's called refactor. What are we refactoring again? I keep forgetting the function name. We're refactoring check inventory paste. So refactor check inventory paste function. And we're gonna add everything. So we want to add two, really just two, right? I mean, yeah, we can add player data and stuff as well, but the change here was just so we can add more money at the start of the game. And then the towner, we just changed it so we can make a change to the name of Griswold. So it's Griswold the dickhead, I guess. But we can undo that later, right? Added some nodes. And minor refactored. Oh, we don't need to push. So what, the inventory paste, factor check, inventory paste, func, yeah. Yeah guys, it's getting quite late for me, so I'm gonna call it a day. However, I mean, we did do some work on this. I was expecting to actually be able to do this entire thing in one stream, but because I don't really understand, if I'm honest, most of this code here. I don't know what this is doing. I can kind of get an idea. It's gonna take like maybe a few more days for me to actually be able to refactor this function into something that looks a lot more readable. But I left some notes here. Obviously we're gonna refactor that switch case statement, which kind of makes sense here. It's just a simple change. We just split this into a different function. You don't need to know what this does to refactor this bit of code. However, the bit above here is what I'm worried about. And this is where I want to understand what the code does so I can make it better. Because currently it's in a state where you look at this and you can't understand what the hell this does. It's like legit spaghetti code right here. So yeah, I mean, and the thing is, generally with refactoring code, you don't need to know what the function or the class does for you to be able to refactor it. Because if you're just refactoring in the sense of like moving functions around, giving better names to things, then yeah, you don't really need to know much about it. But however, if you want to refactor something and actually make it better in the sense of like maybe you want to improve the performance of it, or you want to make it extremely like simple, so like remove the complexity of the code, then you do need to understand what a piece of code does. And that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to actually understand this so I can do something similar to what I've done in my previous PRs in this project, which is actually simplify some things and make shit more, readable in the end. And for that case, I do need to understand what pieces of the code are doing, essentially. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if there's anyone still watching this, and if you guys are still watching this, kudos to you. It's been a fairly boring stream today, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like C++ streams are kind of a little bit more slow than the Golang streams that I do, or the Rust streams that I do, simply for the fact that we generally get stuck in something simple. And thank you, Antonio. For example, at the start of the video, we got stuck on building it for like literally half an hour because we didn't figure out that we needed to build the Lua plugins in the MPQ files, right? And that happens a lot in C++ just because, you know, it's a, you know, a more complicated build system, and things aren't so obvious as they are in other languages. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. And yeah, have a good evening, and bye bye, guys. Ciao, ciao. Obrigado, Antonio.